To battle, packmates! And welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, where I am Lieutenant Commander Tarek of the frigate Call of the Wild. Isn't that a book? And we are continuing our campaign against the Hydron Star Kingdom, those dastardly, tri-symmetrical, evil people who have somehow defeated us in battle as of the last episode. Utilizing their advanced fighters, they managed to basically cut our frigate to pieces. So, unfortunately, that has set us back quite a bit. We're in a police ship now for a little bit, hopefully a very short little bit. But it has become quite clear that we're not going to be able to penetrate Hydron space for a little while, at least until we get something with a little bit more punch. So on to pirate hunting we go, I guess. So let's set out into space and attempt to raid a convoy. Oh god. This could go really badly, actually. Such a small ship, such a minimal armament. We have a single disruptor and a couple of phasers. And that's a heavy cruiser. Why, game? Why you do? Why you do? We're gone. How about green alert? Can I... There we go. Not even then. Oh god. Maximum speed time. We're gone. We're just going to run right away from this. Can't even make maximum speed, unfortunately. Let's double check to make sure we're not going to smash into any rocks, as we desperately hope that he can actually make a speed of 31. I don't think he could catch us anyway. I don't think the map's that big for him to catch up to us going that slowly at a time, but it does look like... Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay, so we can actually hit the full speed of 31. Not sure what was preventing me from doing that before, but I clicked it, but who cares? We have reached that interesting stage of the early game, where the game is going to be throwing us some interesting curveballs, such as pitting a police frigate against heavy cruisers. Now granted, we are in the neutral zone, so we may have stumbled into things we probably shouldn't, but still, I can't help but feel that was a little bit unfair game. We're trying to pick ourselves up from our bootstraps after all, losing a... pretty... Okay, it's not a very good frigate. It's a Lyran ship. Lyran ships aren't very good. I'm sorry. Well, also my playstyle didn't really match up with that. I was trying to do things the wrong way, clearly. So we lost 75 prestige for getting the heck out of there. A monster patrol could go really well, or really badly. We'll go and try it. Depending on the monster, we might be able to take it out. If it's a difficult to kill monster, then we're going to have a problem. That'll work. What do we got here? The scimitar? Oh god. This may not work out as well as I was hoping. This is, of course, a large cage monster. Large cage monsters are large cage and monster-like. Let's pick up speed. How fast can I go? Oh, interesting. That's not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. We don't have any energy in order to charge up any of our other systems, and we're going to try and hit this thing with everything we've got. Frankly, I'm not sure we're going to have a whole heck of a lot of luck here. He does have a defense shift of 1 going out at this time. After our phaser capacitor finishes fully charging, we should be able to get a little bit of power towards the electronic countermeasure. Oh, wow. Ouch. Put 2 in there. Can I just at least cut it down just a bit? I mean, that's all I'm really looking for. Maximum speed time. Also, we want to reinforce the forward shield. Click and click. Zap that up to maximum power. And again, show me the electronics tab, please. You're just going to be a jerk about it, aren't you? I don't think I literally have enough power to do this. I'm fairly certain I lack the physical capability to do. Drop it down to 5, maybe? No, we just can't seem to get there. As soon as we get within range, we shall engage with our disruptors. Unfortunately, that's going to take a little while. Well, he messes around. He's back up to max. We just can't... We honestly can't match it. It's a bit of a problem, actually. Because, oh, we just don't have the energy for it, which is kind of sad and difficult to manage. There we go, we're in disruptor range now. Let's slow down the speed of time, back to something a little bit more reasonable for humans to manage, although, given the number of weapons on this ship, that doesn't really matter. Fire all weapons. 2 damage. That's not great. Ooh, he fired his Hellbore cannons. This, of course, being a large cage monster, is equipped with no less than 3 Hellbore cannons. This is going to be a weapon we are going to become intimately familiar with. The Hellbore is, of course, one of the primary weapons of the Hydron Star Kingdom. And the interesting thing about this weapon is, 1, it tends to be moderately immune to ECM. It doesn't really care if you're trying to stop it that way. And more importantly, when it hits you, the energy from the blast wraps around your shields, and all gets funneled down into the weakest shield located. So if you're trying to reinforce a single location, like we currently are on our forward shield, that won't work, because instead of going against your strong shield that's facing it, like we would prefer it to do, it'll wrap around and go to the weakest shield, generally the stern shield. Against races like the Klingons, this can be devastating because they tend to kind of skimp on stern protection. So the Hydron weapon is really well designed to take advantage of that. Unfortunately, we are also going to suffer from a similar problem. The Lyrans, at least in my experience, also seem to have a bit of a problem with trying to keep their shields well defended. As you can see, we have red on everything except for the forward shield, so we are kind of designed to smash into things. If we had an expanding sphere generator, please don't shoot me. I think he's going to shoot me. I would have shot me, but apparently not. I'm too small and pathetic to worry about. Nope, there it was. Oh god. Let's get the repairs going. Oh wow, one hit. We went from 13 down to 4. Are you beaming people over? Cannot beam to this target. So, yeah, that was our introduction to the Hellbore Cannon. And I must say it was rather painful. We have a little while until he comes back again and tries to destroy us. Although, I was honestly hoping for a plasma monster. I figured if we can get a plasma monster, we can actually take that. Because the plasma monster has the interesting problem of he only has plasma weapons and he's not particularly fast, and we could have stayed at long range just plinking away with the disruptor. This guy, no, we're not going to be able to outrange him, but I had hoped that our friend over here would have been a little bit more help. Yeah, we have no more armor at this point. We've lost one of our phasers. I don't think we ever had armor to begin with. And as you can see, our energy, of course, is at quite an astonishingly low level. I don't have a lot of options because he's about to fire 2 more Hellbores right into my teeth. Oh. It's going to be one of those starts, isn't it? We haven't had a start this bad since the first Federation campaign. Let's see if we can recover, though. I think we can. I'm positive we can. We've done it before. We've come back from worse. Do I seriously have to wait for him to blow them up? Let's watch how this freighter attempts to take on this massive, large cage monster, pulling in a hard starboard turn, both of them moving back into each other to joust with it. The phaser boat firing one phaser at a time, because the captain doesn't seem to want to get both. And there goes the Hellbores slamming in. As you can see, that wraparound effect going right for the bow, which had basically a completely down shield anyway. Oh yeah, that's the other really fun thing about Hydron Hellbore cannons, is if you have a down shield, they'll always hit that down shield. It counts that. It counts no shield as being the weakest shield, which makes perfect sense, but still, it can be very, very difficult to work with, especially, like I said, if you're a Klingon, because suddenly you'll find your stern ship's gone and paying for it for the rest of the fight. Are you serious? Can you just go in there and kill him? Like, this fight should have been over, but the AI is a little bit slow. He's trying to keep his weakened shields away from him. The AI is definitely programmed to do that. Unfortunately, it's not going to help him simply because the Hellbore doesn't care. I'm not sure how huge the radius is on the Hellbore, but yeah, that'll do him in. And thus the monster has finished rampaging through space and has proven it is the superior creature. We needed a bigger boat, apparently. No prestige, or at least we didn't get penalized anything. Oh, but if we don't pick up something soon, we're gonna have a bad time. Another monster mission. I didn't even bother to check what we're in, but it says Call of the Wild again, so I'm gonna guess it's a similar police ship. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's the exact same police ship. This time we have the Finder, which has 2 disruptors, and a Q-ship, which has an expanding regenerator. Miracle upon miracles. But I don't think that's going to help us against Mr. Large Cage Monster over there, so let's just maximize the speed of time. Oh, the monster's just flying around kicking our butt out here. There's not much I can do from a defensive perspective, honestly. The interesting thing is that if you reinforce the weakened shield that you have, and it becomes more powerful than another shield, suddenly that other shield that you're not reinforcing is the weakened shield, and so the Hellbore will go after that. Oh yes, the Hellbore cannon is such a wonderful weapon system. The kind that really makes you want to cry sometimes. Alright, so as soon as we can get in there, 3 ships might be enough. I think High Command may have sent a sufficient number of ships to subdue him, so long as our friend over here, our Q-ship, the Victorious, actually gets involved with shooting him. If he doesn't, using his expanding sphere generator, we're probably gonna die. Let's get relatively close, slow down the speed of time. He's got an attack shift of 2, but there's not much I can do. I literally can't stop his attack shift. So point blank range, all weapons fire, and we missed some, we hit some. Did about 10 damage overall. I've got one more phaser 3 I'd like to throw into the ring. There we go. And we'll slow down to our combat speed. And he did get hit for 18 damage, so the Victorious did come in with an expanding sphere generator. It can be a very effective weapon, and it does ignore ECM, which is really nice. Although I may find out later that it reduces the damage like it does with plasma torpedoes for reasons. So we're going to come back in. We don't quite have another barrage ready to go yet, and we are actually charging our disruptor a little bit slower than I'd like. But so long as the large gauge monster doesn't focus on shooting us, we should be alright. See if I can't delay firing for a little while longer. Come on, just a couple more ticks and I'll have the disruptor up too for a full alpha strike. Give it to me. There we go. Ooh, 24 damage. We were really laid into him on that one. Actually starting to get some damage down. You see, if you use a police ship in conjunction with Q ships, it's almost as if that's the way we're supposed to do things. Well, sort of. Q ships really are more designed to defend convoys than go out pirate hunting on their own. Or I suppose monster killing. But I guess they grabbed together everything that they could. And Finder actually is pretty decently armed. I mean, 2 disruptors for something that small. Well, not small, but supposedly weakly armored, I guess? And armed? Oh, we're going to come in for another, hopefully crushing blast. Come on, give me another angle. And another 19 damage. One of the phasers didn't go off, too. So we'll arc it around just a little bit to get that phaser back on target. Another 1 damage. So I guess in total we did about 20. An expanding sphere generator turning right back on. He's in close. This should hit him, and it does. For another 7 damage, plus 4 from the phaser blast. As we're circling back on in. A little bit of a goat rope going on here. Just ships in such close proximity. Partially because he has still an attack shift going on, which makes all of our attacks weaker. We have, however, taken out one of his hellbores. That's an important step for us. He's been held. So fire all weapon systems as you bear. Third phaser. There we go. Causing a decent amount of damage. As long as he holds him down, he can't use... Well, he can't use wild weasels, so that doesn't really matter here. But I'm going to take it as a win anyway. He is still holding an attack shift to 1, which tells me he does still have spare power. Although how much spare power, I'm not entirely sure. He is down to 2 weapons, though, so that may contribute to it. He's also not going very fast. I mean, a speed of 12 for a monster this big. Although we did find out in our Beast Raiders campaign that monsters, the more damage they take, the slower they have to go. Even if they have available power, they simply can't go faster than a certain speed, which makes a certain interesting amount of sense. Oh, you can put 2 tractor beams on the target. Alright, now pull him apart. Fly in opposite directions and rip him to pieces. That's a thing, right? It's not. Although I do seem to remember a show that was like that, where they would use 2 tractor beams and just rip you apart. He has lost all of his weapon systems. Excellent. We have survived a battle with the monsters, which will allow us to get monies, well, prestige, and get out of this police ship. Look, it was fun, I guess, being in the ship, but we're ready to get into something, at least a destroyer. Give me something that can actually battle. Oh, we're just taking our good, sweet time here. Maybe I should add my tractor beam to the mix. We can completely tear him apart in all directions. Come on, get that disruptor on. Oh, he's so close to being killed. This rampaging monster must rampage no more. There we go. Finally. It only took us... it only took 3 ships, a bit of time, and a lot of damage on the Finder. Although the Q ship and the Victorious and us seem to be completely undamaged, luckily. 420 prestige, that's what I'm talking about. Back to a starbase. Hi, shipyard. I have 900 prestige I'd like to spend on something. A CL. This will give me 2 disruptors, 2 expanding sphere generators, and 4 phaser 1s, 4 phaser 3s. If nothing else pops up, I am grabbing that. Yeah, I'm grabbing that. Buy. Supply. The Raker is our new ship, so let's sell Call of the Wild. Sell Call of the Wild, not fix Call of the Wild. I need spare parts and other things. More Marines. A couple of mines. And some spare parts. We are getting low on cash, but it is to be expected in the early game. I just want to quickly check through this one thing. How many transporters do I have? I have 2. That's a little disappointing. I've been hoping we'd have like 15 transporters. Did we do another monster mission? I think we tried. We're now on a ship that should be able to fight. We have 2 expanding sphere generators. So long as it's not too dangerous a monster. Oh, we are on our own though, which does have me a bit worried. Ooh, there's the monster. It is a fusion beam monster. This is perfect. So fusion cannons, or fusion beams, or fusion projectors. I think cannons. Fusion cannons are a wonderfully interesting weapon in this game. Also, one of the weapons that we're going to be running into a lot when we actually decide to fight the Hydrons, or when we actually get a ship that can fight the Hydrons. See, the fun thing about the fusion cannon, it is super short ranged. Like, point blank range is the only time you ever want to try and use it, because anything beyond that is an absolute waste of energy. And when it fires, it deals a pretty decent amount of damage, too. Like, it hits like a truck, so long as you're within a range of, like, 0. You can also overload it, just like most other heavy weapons, although not things like, of course, our expanding sphere generator or plasma torpedoes, although you can develop those, so bad example. But you can overload fusion cannons, which will cause them to do even more damage, but make them even shorter range. As a general rule of thumb, if you got the power, overload the gosh darn beam, because you're not going to be firing it at long range anyway. And then they have a fun little option that no other weapon has called the suicide overload, which shoves so much energy into the cannon that when it fires, it explodes, which is the most orky thing ever, but they're whatever. So when it does that, it blows up the cannon itself. You have to completely repair it from the ground up, which is hilarious to me. And it's does a lot of damage. It can deal an obscene amount of damage, in fact, but only, again, at point-blank range, and you'll take a little bit of splashback damage while you do it. The problem is the AI, for the most part, generally, and knock on wood here, tries to fire it at maximum range, which is a complete and total waste. So hopefully we'll be able to take advantage. He does have 4 of them. So, come on, shoot it. Shoot your fusion beam now. There we go. Yeah, and generally they also like to suicide overload them. Alright, let's kick on our expanding sphere generator. Get ready to run him over. Hi. Oh, ho, 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 look at that. 78 damage. We went from dealing 24 damage at the absolute maximum we could do to just doing an overrun of 78. Oh, it is nice to be in a proper cruiser again. Well, not a proper cruiser. It is a light cruiser after all. But we did a decent amount of damage. We knocked out one of his fusion beams already. And the great thing about monsters is monsters can't repair things. So that fusion cannon is gone. Gone until the end of time. We are in a stern chase, which is an excellent position for a ship with disruptors to be. It's kind of where you want to be. Because as long as they're running, they really can't maneuver against you. So we're just going to sit here and plink away. They do have an attack shift of 2 going on right now. So I probably should try and move to counter that. So we're actually... Oh, this is almost done, right? Oh no, the capacitor is still taking quite a while to charge. Show me the power screen and the electronic warfare screen. Well, the power screen is telling me I have no free energy, of course, because the capacitor is charging everything. And he is putting out 4 points of energy into that. I'm anticipating a fusion beam strike. Let's kick on the expanding sphere generator. Bump again. There we go. Another 32 from that. And a disruptor blast on through. Looks like we've completely wiped out one of his mounts. It's totally gone. So he's down to just 2 fusion beams, which, let me tell you, is not a whole heck of a lot of power. So let's come back around again. We have the monsters in our sight. We have gone from being crushed by monsters to slowly but painfully defeating monsters to easily crushing monsters on our own. It's like we're playing our own MMORPG. So let's just line up for another one. Oh, there he goes, firing his heavy cannons. And did he suicide that? I will be fascinated to learn as soon as we pass in close enough to each other. Did you suicide? He did. The AI figured it was the best idea, and it just wasn't. Not in this circumstance. Let's swing around, put in the other phaser 3. At this point, he has no weapons, and he can't fix anything. So I'm really kind of surprised he's still maintaining a speed of 15 with that kind of damage on him. But hey, more power to him. Kick it on. If he's going to pass into me, I'm going to bump him. And bump. Another 16 damage. Not a ton. We didn't have the capacitor fully charged. Does take a little while to get that done, especially if he's going to keep running into us. We'll just... Oh, we had another one ready. Hi, are you going to bump into me? And I don't think he has much of a choice. He's already committed himself to the action, and followed with immediate phasers, 38 damage. That's reasonable. He's dropping in speed, so we finally picked something important off of him. A couple more phasers into him. I would say to disable him, but he's already completely disabled, so no problems there. Can I get a good full-on accuracy shot on him? I mean, he's still rocking an attack shift of 1. I really don't have the power to invest in stopping that. Just the amount of energy that an expanding sphere generator takes, it's a power hog. It tries to eat absolutely every single point of energy you've got. Continuing to come around nice and slowly. Do we high energy turn? Yes. Yes, we do. Get me back in here. I want to aggressively go after this, even though he is coming back into me. And this should catch him on the backside. Yes, it did. And we're not going to have the other version ready to go. But he is almost completely destroyed. You're mine, little one. You shall not survive. We have you dead to rights. Or maybe just dead. So line him up for the final crushing blow. And this shall be the end. I don't think he'll survive one more hit with the capacitor. Oh, we have like no energy in it. Well, because we're probably charging all weapons and... Alright, boot it up. The battering ram. It can be a fun weapon to use. I am not impervious to the fact that it is an amusing weapon to use. There we go. At the start of this episode, we were in trouble. We were in a tiny little police frigate. We went up against a single monster and got crushed. Well, they gave us another shot. They actually gave us the same named ship for whatever reason. And then we were able to come back and just barely beat it, but with a lot of help. And then now we are in our own little light cruiser, which gives us the ability to actually fight the enemy, and we did. And we can handle them all on our own. So, our own little survivalist journey, I guess. But that's actually going to be where we're going to end it today. Managing to get ourselves back into a combat ship capable of fighting the enemy. Whether or not it's capable of going against the hydrants, I'm not 100% sure. Kind of want to hang around at least until I get a heavy cruiser, but we are right on the border, and they have taken a point in the neutral zone, so we may have to be a little bit more aggressive against them. Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see notification every time I release one of these videos, press the bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.